It is time to break out the latest edition of Dual Enrollment Updates. This presentation is brought to you by the Georgia Bridge Bill, which is a law ensuring that you have access to the most current college and career planning information. Even if you're an experienced dual enrollment student, please pay attention as there's so many new updates in this process to be registered for spring of 2023. Dual enrollment offers high school students a chance to take a college course and earn a credit for your high school transcript, and at the same time start accumulating credits on your college transcript, hopefully with the goal to begin knocking out undergraduate core requirements or to begin earning a certificate, diploma, or associate degree at a technical college. Students can earn up to 30 college credit hours that are fully funded, so one high school credit is the equivalent of 3 college hours. In some cases, lab classes like science courses or welding or patient care may be worth 4 or more college credit hours. One full time semester at a college is usually about 12 to 15 hours minimum, about 4 or 5 classes. 30 hours can be the equivalent of over 2 full time semesters. Think of dual enrollment as a college grant or scholarship that you don't have to pay back. You could potentially earn a full year of college paid for by the time you graduate high school. Plus, it doesn't use any of your Hope or Zell Miller scholarship hours once you get to college. The university system of Georgia is basically the public institutions within the state that participate in dual enrollment. We also have the technical college system of Georgia, as well as private institutions. The undergraduate term refers to a bachelor's degree that takes about 4 years of college or 8 semesters. Associate degree is about half that time, 4 semesters or 2 years to complete. At the technical college, you earn core academic credits in addition to a specialized skilled trade area. The core academic credits more than likely will transfer to any of the USG system of the undergraduate programs in Georgia. There are also colleges such as University of North Georgia that focuses on fully core academic associate degrees that will assist you in transferring to other colleges to complete a 4 year undergraduate degree. The difference between a certificate and a diploma is basically the length of the program and how many semesters it takes. Usually, a certificate's 1 to 2, a diploma is about 2 to 3 semesters. While current ninth grade students are not eligible to receive state funding for dual enrollment classes just yet, it's important that you really understand how it works because you will be eligible this summer between your ninth and 10th grade year. You'll also have opportunities in the spring of 2023 to apply and register for summer and fall classes within the CTAE areas. So, for example, we have on site at Jefferson High School the engineering technology program, and hopefully in the spring, we'll be able to bring back the firefighter science program, but we'll definitely offer that again next year as well. You can also take other career technical classes online. 10th grade students are eligible to have CTAE courses funded, but in order to have core academic courses funded, you must earn a score of either 1600 on the SAT or score 26 on the ACT in a one time sitting, meaning you can't use your highest scores on separate tests to combine them to meet a minimum score. 11th and 12th grade, you're eligible to have both CTAE and academic core courses funded, providing you meet the admissions criteria of the college. It's easy to get carried away with all the money that you can save, but you still have to earn quality grades to make it worth your while. Saving money shouldn't be the main reason you decide to take dual enrollment either. The best reason is for you to discuss this with your school counselor and your family to help you define your goals for your college or career experience and decide if dual enrollment courses can help you branch out into programs or have experiences that may not be offered within the high school setting. For example, Jefferson's has had several students complete welding certificates during high school and land well paying jobs entering the workforce directly after graduation. Others have used dual enrollment to complete pathways not offered at Jefferson or to experiment with careers to see if it's a good fit to pursue after high school. You just also need to make sure that you're demonstrating the capacity to increase your current rigor level because college content is much different than high school content. Students must demonstrate also organizational skills, time management skills, and motivation, and take complete ownership of this process. It's not up to your parents to complete your college application or submit your documents. This is your responsibility. An additional benefit to taking dual enrollment courses is that you do receive an additional half point weighted average to your HOPE calculation reports, which can help your GPA. Communication and honoring deadlines are critical to dual enrollment success. While failure isn't fatal and can be a great learning tool, it will have impact on the downside to both your college and high school transcript. The grades will be there forever, and even if you retake the course, it doesn't eliminate the grade you've earned. It's just averaged in. Dual enrollment funding doesn't pay for retakes of a class either, so if you do need to retake a class, it'll have to come out of your pocket instead. There are four primary institutions that partner with Jefferson High School for dual enrollment. Lanier Tech is the technical college that offers associate degrees, diplomas, and CTAE certificates. They offer online classes, or you can go to the campus in Winder Barrow and Gainesville. You must have a 2.6 core GPA, but in order to bypass having to submit the test scores. But if it's a little bit lower than that and you want to take certificate programs, that's wonderful. You just will need to be able to submit additional ACT, SAT, Accuplacer, or even PSAT test scores to be admitted. We do offer again the Engineering Technology Fundamental Certificate that will be offered beginning again next fall, and we're attempting to have the Firefighter Science offered in the spring of 2023. So if you're interested in that, please reach out to me and let me know. But we're definitely going to bring it back for next fall as well. We'll also be bringing college algebra and pre-calculus at Jefferson next school year, but you will need to really define your post-secondary goals and work with your counselor to make sure that that's going to be the best fit for you after you finish your advanced algebra class here. That can actually also count as a fourth math credit, usually your senior math credit, but again, you'll need to work with your counselor to make sure that that is the best fit. A quick note on the Accuplacer test: if you're not wanting to take the SAT or ACT and don't have a PSAT score that qualifies you, then you can actually schedule with the college the Accuplacer test on their campus. You'll receive immediate results to determine if you qualify. The test is free for the first two tests for dual enrollment students. And if you need to retest in one of those areas to get admissions to the school, you just need to wait 30 days and then just retest the area that you need. University of North Georgia, they do require SAT and ACT testing, or they also accept Accuplacer, which you can take on their campus as well. They will also accept PSAT, but they do require, no matter what your grade point average is, one of those test scores to complete your admissions. They do require a 3.25 GPA, however, and that is your Hope eligibility GPA, not your overall cumulative. You will have to apply and send all of the supporting documents by their October 31st test date, but they do give you a little bit of extra time after that test date to make sure those scores are received. But you do need to send them prior to that October 31st test date. They do offer online campuses, or you can attend the Oconee and Gainesville campus. UGA is off the table for the rest of this school year as deadlines have passed, and you can see that August the 15th was the final deadline for the rest of this school year. But if you're interested for next fall, those deadlines will open up again probably around April or May. Please pay attention to their website, which lists their complete admissions process and deadlines. Young Harris is a private college that offers academic courses and electives in many session formats. They're 8 weeks long. So the session A would run from the beginning of the semester to the midpoint. Session B classes run from the midpoint to the end of the semester, which will still end before Jefferson's semester ends. You can also attend campus classes at Jefferson STEAM Center 2 days a week for English 1101 and English 1102. 1101 is often used in the place of your senior English or ELA 12. They do have a minimum core GPA requirement of a 3.0. Math course placement, which starts with college algebra and pre-calculus. They will have additional requirements that you have to meet to be placed into those classes. And again, your high school counselor can share that information with you to see if that is a good fit. This is a quick cheat sheet on the schedule for SAT and ACT test dates to make sure that you're scheduling those to be able to be received by the college for admissions within the time frames. A quick note is that you must send your scores directly through your student account through these testing institutions. Your counselor does not have the capacity to send those scores on your behalf. Unless you had a test fee waiver, there will be a small fee to send these scores. Please read this slide carefully. If you know the college you want to partner with, you can go ahead and apply. You may need to discuss this with your counselor first, though, and either way is fine. Before your advisement session, which will take place beginning the week after we come back from fall break and run to the end of the month, which is our deadline date, you should at least be able to know how to locate your GPA on the Georgia Futures account to understand which partner is going to be a good fit for you. It is also possible to partner with more than one college in a semester. We do have several students that are participating in the engineering program who are also taking core academics with either Young Harris or University of North Georgia as well. So that's also an option. Let's look real quick at the Georgia Futures website in order to show you how to understand your HOPE GPA. So once you sign into your student account, over here under My Georgia Futures will be a tab that you can click and look at your HOPE eligibility report to determine your GPA for admissions requirements. If you are a ninth grader, you will not have a report yet because that doesn't start accumulating for you until you've actually finished the fall semester of your ninth grade. So when we come back to school from the holiday break in December, you will then be able to see your first HOPE eligibility report. When you are beginning to apply for colleges, make sure that your social security number is correct, both in Infinite Campus, and if it isn't, or if you need to add it to Infinite Campus, you'll need to see our new registrar, Mrs. Melissa Johnson, and she can help you correct that within Infinite Campus. But also make sure it matches what you put into your Georgia Futures account. I know some students are hesitant to add their social security number, but you cannot receive dual enrollment funding. And also, it's imperative by the time you graduate high school to have that in order for your Hope or Zell Miller funds to be sent to your college of choice. So that isn't going to be an option. It is a very secure website, however. But if you're participating in dual enrollment, you'll have to have that correct. Also, make sure that you're only using your full and legal name, no nicknames in your Georgia Futures account. That's also good advice for your college applications. If it's not your full legal name, it's going to cause delays in the way your application is processed. When you apply, also make sure that you're using a personal email and not your school email. Sometimes filters prevent the college from sending information to your school email, but also you'll lose access to that account once you graduate. So let's real quick, we'll come back to Georgia Futures in a minute, but let's look at the websites for the individual colleges so you can get some familiarity with how they're laid out. For Lanier Tech, you can see that they have all of the tabs for eligibility, deadlines, the admissions process. And if we look at the admissions process, it's going to tell you to meet with your counselor first. And then here's a link to apply and to make sure you select dual enrollment for the application type. That prevents you from having to pay the application fee. If you are wanting to take core academic courses, and even if you're mixing them with a career technical program, you'll want to choose interdisciplinary studies. There is a different minimum requirement for admissions for interdisciplinary studies than there is for certificate programs. If you are wanting to do a certificate program, make sure that you have gone to the website and reviewed which one that you want to take, and you have that information ready to enter in. You'll request your high school transcript, provide placement scores. Let me just say something about the AccuPlacer testing session. You will need to contact the college directly to set up that test. Again, as mentioned earlier, you can test, you'll get your test results immediately for admissions purposes, and then they'll go from there to determine if you need to take any retest. The submitting the proof of lawful presence just means that you're going to submit a copy of either your driver's license or your birth certificate to make sure you're a Georgia resident for funding purposes. Then all of the colleges will have a portal that you can check on periodically to make sure that you have included all of your supporting documents, and it will tell you where you are in the process of admission. Once you have received your admissions notification, it will ask you to set up, and goes for all the colleges, it'll ask you to set up your college email. At that point, they'll start communicating with you solely through your college email. So if you're not setting that up in a timely manner, you're missing important information about contacting your college coordinator to complete the enrollment process, and also information about orientation and textbooks and all of those other good things. So back up here, if you're undecided about a certificate program, they do have a program link, and you can go through and look at all the skilled trade areas that they have. So I'm going to pick on engineering for a quick moment. You can learn more. And we'll go here to the different certificate programs that they have. And here's the certificate. This is the one that is actually offered here on campus. And when you click on that, it will show you exactly the classes that you will need to take in order to complete that program. So that is linear tech. Let's move on to University of Georgia. Again, although that process is closed for this school year, this is great information on telling you how you have to apply. You will do that through the Common Application Platform. Lots of supporting documentation is required, but all of that information is right there for you. University of North Georgia, again, they have a well laid out website with the requirements for dual enrollment. Here is the minimum test that you will need to be able to supply in your supporting documentation. The deadlines and the process for applying is all right here. It tells you how to submit your transcripts, how to submit test scores, all of this good information. So this is your responsibility to become really familiar with this as you're meeting with your school counselor. Young Harris College, again, they have a very simple application process. You click apply now, you'll have an inquiry form that you complete, and then it will push you into the actual application. And it tells you all the supporting documentation that you need in order to complete that packet. So let's go back over here since we're talking about transcripts. Back on your georgiafutures.org website, once you have logged in, you can go over to college planning and you will scoot down to high school transcripts and it will ask you to sign in. Oops, let's go back up here and do that one more time. This is a process that kind of shows you how secure it is because it is a multi-step security process. Once you get through that, you will select the college that you're interested in, complete the filter, click acknowledge, and send. So it's not necessary for you to contact your counselor to send these on your behalf. You have the sole responsibility to do this. The college gets them within 24 hours. You've got a digital footprint proof that you have sent it, and it's just very, very easy. So for you seniors, you can actually do this for colleges that you are applying to in the fall as well. So let's go back over to the video real quick. I want to share with you the paperwork that you will receive for the Jefferson requirements. This is a packet that includes a really clear checklist. Again, it talks you through exactly step by step how to click what tab on Georgia Futures to do your transcript and the dual enrollment funding application, which we'll talk about in a quick minute, how to schedule your meeting, and so forth. This middle form is very important. This is a dual enrollment contract that's required for students and parents to sign annually. It has great information in there about what to understand that can go wrong with a dual enrollment class and what can go right. But in terms of what can go wrong, because there's some severe repercussions for your GPA, we want to make sure you understand how to add and drop a class if you get into a class and realize it's not a good fit for you, what you will have to do to get another credit scheduled in its place at the high school if you choose to drop it, how to withdraw and what the reasons are for withdrawing, and how to make sure we're not withdrawing with a failure penalty because that will appear as a failing grade on both sides of your transcript. For young males that will be 18 in the course of the dual enrollment semester, you will have to apply for the selective service, and there is information on this contract on how to do that in order for your dual enrollment class to be fully funded that semester. So there's two sides to it, and it also has a key for the grade conversion scale because in college you receive a letter grade, so we have to convert that to a numerical grade for your high school transcript side. So you and your parents will review that carefully, sign it, and bring that back to your school counselor. You'll also get a sheet called the quick links during your advisement. And basically, this is just once you have applied and admitted what to do to make sure that you are contacting your college dual enrollment coordinator to schedule a teleconference in order to confirm your enrollment and receive your schedule. It's a common mistake that students make in which they think that they've done the paperwork, they've done the Georgia Futures piece, they've applied online, my class is a given. That's not the case. You still have to reach out to your college coordinator, have that conversation over the phone with them to complete your enrollment in order to guarantee your class and to receive a schedule. And I'll go ahead and tell you that no matter how well you've done this process, sometimes classes get canceled, sometimes classes get full. So it's not a guarantee that you're going to receive your class. So until you get that schedule and send it to your school counselor to adjust your high school schedule, your dual enrollment process is really not complete. But as long as you're following the process, you have a really good chance of making sure this works out in the way that you're hoping. How to pay for the classes, I mentioned the dual enrollment funding application. This is a very critical piece in order to help you enroll. Some colleges will not enroll you in a class until they have proof that you have completed your funding application. This requires a portion that you will complete as well as a portion your parents will complete. So let's hop back over to the Georgia Future side. And up at the top, you'll see a tab called Hope and State Aid. And then you'll go to the state aid applications and forms. And right around here, you'll see the dual enrollment funding application. You click that, it's a very fast filter. You just have to confirm your information. You enter a parental email. They will receive a link in which they have to open that link and complete their portion of the participation agreement. This has to be done by October 31st. This has to be done before the college will enroll you in a class. I've had many students that are disappointed they didn't get a class because they did everything but this piece. And this is a very, very critical piece because you don't want to receive a bill at the end of the semester for the class because you did not do this part. All right, let's go back over to the rest of our slideshow. When you make an appointment with your school counselor, and they are going to be sending out a link in which you can select an appointment time. So be looking for that in your Google Class Drive. This is an advisement plan. So they're going to fill out all of your information up here with you. They're going to talk through with you which are the best classes to fit your goals, and they're going to list them here. And then on the back side of that form, you and your parents and your counselor will sign. This is an agreement saying this is what's going to meet your high school graduation requirements. This is what we've agreed to take with the college. So you're going to be asked to take a screenshot of this sheet during that conference. And the reason for that is, remember, you're going to have to set up a teleconference with your college dual enrollment coordinator to confirm the classes that you want to take. And by taking a screenshot of this form, it helps you quickly remember which certain section number that meets the time frame that you need to take the class, and it just helps you remember all the other additional data while you have that conference. Here is a list of website resources for you for quick links, and I'll put this into your Google Class Drive as well for easy access. And I know that this has been a little bit of an overwhelming process, but the last thing that I want to share with you is that the registration will open up the week of October 10th. So as soon as we get back from fall break, you can begin making appointments with your counselor and receiving the paperwork and applying to your colleges. The deadlines to have these specific items complete by October 31st is really important. It's okay if you haven't received a notice that you've been accepted yet by October 31st. You probably won't. It's okay if you haven't met with your college dual enrollment coordinator to confirm your classes. That might take place between October 31st and the Christmas holiday break. But these are the important items that you must have done before October 31st in order to be able to move on to the next phase. These are a list of contact information for student services support. We are here to help you every step of this process. My name is Miss McShane. I am the counseling programs coordinator for the system, and I'll also work with the dual enrollment coordination of all of our programs. So I'm happy to help you as well. Thank you for your participation in this. I know it's a lot of information, but dual enrollment can be a vital part of your high school process. And it also really gets you to thinking and working with your school counselor about what are my goals for high school, what are my goals after high school, and how can dual enrollment potentially really expand my high school experience while possibly saving me money and keeping me from accumulating some student loan debt potentially. But it's also really about exploring who you are and what you're interested in and kind of going from there. So again, please reach out to us if you have any questions, and thank you again for participating in this presentation today.